Hello, and welcome to the first of the game audio tutorial bonus videos. We're not going to attempt to replicate the entire book in these videos, but they're just a different way of looking at the content, and we thought it'd just be helpful to actually see things in action sometimes. Might help make things a bit clearer. So if you've got this far, you'll be opening UDK, loading up the level, and this is what you'll see in front of you. If you haven't, let me just go back and illustrate what you need to do to get everything up and running. So you will have downloaded a zip file from the gameaudiotutorial.com, and when you unzip that, you'll have an exe file and a readme. The readme just tells you what the exe is doing, which is essentially taking a bunch of our assets and putting them into the UDK folder wherever you've installed UDK. So you double click on that installer and you tell it where you've installed UDK. It will put all the files there. Then you download the exercises zip file, again unzip it, double click on the exe, and it will put the exercises in the right place. So at the moment I'm looking at the October edition of UDK. By the time you look at this, you'll no doubt be using either the March or a later edition. Whatever's supported, we'll tell you on the website which version we're supporting at any given time. So what the exe will have done, here we are in our UDK folder. It's put a bunch of stuff into a folder called My Mods. So these are script files that we're going to be looking at later. But the main place you want to look is inside the UDK game, content, custom levels folder. And here you can see that we've got the main tutorial level and all the exercises in subfolders there. And the other thing we've got is this other folder called packages. So all the assets, all the graphics and sounds and things like that are actually stored separately to the levels in these UPK packages. So they're kept there. Now, when you're developing your own stuff, I'd recommend that you stick to this format. So then when you move between computers or you want to show your work to your friends, then all you need to do is take that custom levels folder and copy it across, put it onto the other machine within the content folder, and then it will remember where everything is. So your level will still be able to find the packages you used, etc. So levels and packages. Right, so you've got it set up and you've opened up UDK and you've gone File and you've gone Open, and here is the tutorial level. Now, this is what's called the perspective view, which you'll be spending quite a lot of time in, but also you'll want to use the other views so that you can place things a little bit more accurately. So if we click that, I just click that maximize viewport to bring us back to a 4 viewport view, and you can see we've got a top-down view, and then over this side we've got front and side views, and then of course our perspective view. So if you've not used any kind of graphical editor or worked in a 3D game engine like this, it actually takes quite a bit of getting used to just moving around. So I tend to use this method, but you'll have to find what works best for you. So most of the time what I'm doing is I'm holding down my right mouse button, which gives me this free look. So my right mouse button's held down, I'm moving my mouse around. And then if I actually use the WASD keys on my keyboard, I can fly through the level. Okay, so it's just like you might be in God mode or something. So you're able to fly around and move through the level like that. Now there are other ways you can do it, which is to, if I hold my left mouse key down, you can see by moving my mouse back and forward, I'm actually moving back and forward in the game. If I hold my right and left down, then my moving my mouse back and forward moves me up and down. So you know, you may be more comfortable with that kind of movement, or by holding the right mouse button down and flying through. Probably a combination of the two. Sometimes you want to fly around, but then you want a more detailed control, and you might left mouse click just to move forward or move up and down like that. So that's going to take a bit getting used to. The other thing is actually navigating your way around the level. If we look at the top down view, you can see it's pretty big, and you're not going to want to fly through the whole thing because it's going to take you about 20 minutes or so. So another thing that's useful is we've got this top down view, and we can, you see that view change then. I just press the W key. That actually shows or hides, because I've got that window selected, or that viewport selected. It shows or hides the graphics, the static meshes, the objects in the game, and I want to see them at the moment, so I press W so I can see them. Now say I wanted to have a look in what's going on in this room over here. I just select an object in that room, and then I press the home key on the keyboard, and I've jumped to it. Unfortunately I'm behind a wall, but that's okay because I'm just going to move forward a little bit, and so it's brought me to that room, which happens to be 407. So that's a quick way of moving about the level. So likewise, I might, you know, I know I want to be in that sort of area, so I just select something, press home, and I've moved out over here to one of the outdoor areas in chapter 6, and that's quite handy. The other thing we've put in is some bookmarks. So at the beginning of each chapter, they align to the number keys on your keyboards. If I press number 1, I'm at the beginning of the first chapter in room 100. Press number 2, 200, 300. I think you probably get the message by now. So these are bookmarks. Now, when you're working on your own levels, you can set them yourself. So if I thought, right, this is a place I'm going to be coming back to quite often here, then I might press Control and the number 3, and that's now set the number 3 bookmark to be this position. So if I jump ahead and I just press 7, so I'm at the beginning of chapter 7. Now if I press 3, I'm going to go back to the place that I just set the bookmark to be. Okay, so I don't get horribly confused, I'm just going to go back and reset that bookmark to the start of chapter 3, so just don't forget that later on. So combinations of mouse keys to move around, holding the right mouse button down to fly through the level, and using the top down view, selecting an object and jumping to that object using the home key, and then the bookmarks. All of these things are going to help you with the basic navigation of just finding your way around and getting to places you want to be. So have a play around with that, and then in the next video tutorial we'll come on and start looking at how to actually put some sound in.